Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. Happy Monday, Huskers fans, and how sweep it is as we start the week off right, coming off the heels of Nebraska baseball and softball, each sweeping a Big Ten opponent this past weekend. We'll hear from Will Bolt in Hour 2 as he recounts how his Huskers were able to outscore Ohio State a combined 32-13 this weekend. We'll also hear from Scott Frost in Hour 1, who met with the media this morning to discuss final preparations for this weekend's spring game. And other Huskers coaching news, Nebraska men's basketball announced today that they've hired a new assistant to join Fred Hoiberg's staff. Adam Howard will join the Huskers after serving as an assistant coach for the University of South Alabama for the last 4 seasons. He was elevated to the role of associate head coach for the Jaguars this past season. At South Alabama, the defense Howard helped coach ranked in the top 50 nationally in field goal defense in each of the last 2 seasons, while also lowering their opponent's field goal and three-point percentage in each of the last 3 seasons. That defense has averaged 200 steals per season and over 7 steals per game over the last 3 years. Elsewhere in college basketball, it is the national championship tonight in men's basketball with North Carolina and Kansas tipping off for the rights to the title at 8:20 p.m. Central. We do send our best wishes to Andrew Dowdy's Duke Blue Devils. An interesting trade in the NFL earlier this afternoon. The Saints and Eagles swapped draft picks in the next 2 NFL drafts in part. In summary, the Saints received the 16th and 19th picks in this year's first round, along with the 194th overall pick, all in this year's 2022 NFL draft. The Eagles received the 18th pick in this year's first round, along with picks 101 and 237 in this draft, plus a 2023 first and a 2024 second from the Saints. That's the ticker. My name is Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
The 0-1 pitch to Max. Anderson hammers one to center. That's hit pretty well. Kern backing up. He's to the track. He's to the wall. And that ball is gone. Anderson gets a grand slam to dead center.
Vickers 1-2. Squire swings and lifts a fly ball to center and deep. Fawcett going back, but it's gone. A home run for Abby Squire. Her 6th of the year.
3-2 pitch on the way from Finney. Drilled to left field. Going back is Trey Lipsy. He's looking up and it is gone. Luke Sartori drives it out of here, a grand slam.
The Wine and Hitchcock deals. And Kenny swings and lifts it deep left field, and it is gone off the scoreboard and left for a 3-run home run.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Everett swings and hammers one to deep left center field. That is trouble, and that is gone. Griffin Everett gets a hold of one to left center, and the Huskers get the lead right back on the 2-run shot.
10-4 Huskers in the 6th. The pitch. Squire swings and blasts it deep left center field and gone. A 2-run home run for Squire. That'll end the game.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Husker fans, you get to see your football team play this week. How about that spring football game?
Let's
now
go.
Just 5 days away. The forecast, which is not, it's only 5 days out. It's got to be right, correct? I mean, those guys never make mistakes. Going to be mid-60s and sunny.
So I was looking at the weather a couple weeks ago, and it said 61, so it's going up. Maybe we can keep going up a little bit.
That'd be fine. Mid-60s.
Yeah.
You don't want to sweat.
No,
That's fine.
Jeremiah can handle it. If once it gets over 70, he starts complaining. So we need to keep it probably in that 60s would be perfect for the big guy.
Going to be great. I know the players, the coaches are excited about that. It's a big weekend. We're going to hear from the head coach here in a little bit. It does seem a little early. Part of the reason, and we've talked about this, is that Nebraska is going to be tearing the turf out after the game gets over. They're going to rip that out so they can have it installed by graduation in about 5 weeks away. But a little bit early, but that's okay. Michigan had their spring game, I guess. There was about 500 people in the stands on Saturday for their game.
You know,
we'll have more than that.
I think looking back, maybe the weather could have been an issue. There were some bad days, but it also, as we heard Bill Bush talking about, gave an opportunity for some of the specialists to get out there and battle the elements. But it wasn't so awful that they, had to be indoors the whole time. So they've had some good days, and get it all in, get the spring game in, and then get to work on the field turf, which, takes some time to get that in and put it all in right.
It does. I was on our Omaha affiliate today, and they were like, what are the storylines in your eyes for this game? I go, well, it's quarterbacks. Anytime you're changing quarterbacks, people want to see what that looks like, and it's going to be vanilla. They're not going to run a lot of some of the stuff they're going to run in the fall, but everybody wants to see Casey Thompson. They want to see what he looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see Casey, but also the running backs, because probably going to run the football a lot, right? And so with all the talk about Jaquez Yant, and we saw what Ramir Johnson did a year ago, and then you throw in Anthony Grant, and there's just a lot of talent in that room too. So I'm excited to see. This is a competition for them. While, absolutely Casey Thompson has not won. He's not the starting quarterback yet, but he's taken most of the ones. We've heard it all throughout spring. But I think that running back room is a heated battle, and this is going to be important for those guys to set themselves up moving into the summer and then into fall camp.
Coach Frost said today, and we'll hear this clip a little bit later, not quite sure how they're going to do it. He said the coaches need to talk, whether they're going to divide it red-white, which they normally do, or will they just go offense versus defense. They've got time. They got 5 days to figure this thing out. So it may change a couple of different times between now and then, but we'll have some.
When are we going to know? Because, we gotta decide what Jeremiah and I are going to do. He's trying to say he's with the red team, but then if it's offense defense, he's demanding that he's with the offense. I said, I'll roll with the defense. That's okay.
You can hang with the black shirts.
Yeah.
It's all right over there.
Absolutely. I'm all for it.
So it'll be fun. Jeremiah's going to make some appearances with us this week,
He is.
correct?
Yep. He's got through all of his travel schedule with his agent stuff, so he's able to dive in on Husker football this week. He's going to go out to practice, I think, this week as well, and so he'll be all knowledged up and ready to pass it along to all of us.
We'll look forward to hearing from him as the week moves on. Great week. This is one of the best weeks in the sports calendar. You've got the national championship game tonight. The Masters starts on Thursday. Major League Baseball starts on Thursday. Our spring game on Saturday. It's pretty good. Whatever you like, you're going to find something you like here this week.
Hey, who you got in the Masters?
I haven't really dove into the pairings yet. I'll have to look that. I'm excited that Tiger may play. He says he's a game time decision. I think he's going to play.
I think he'll play. Absolutely.
I did watch him walking a little bit today. He's not walking great yet, and that's a pretty hilly place.
Yeah,
it's pretty hilly.
I love the Masters. It's and good thing about it is we have the spring game early, and then you'll get to watch all day on Sunday if that's what you want to do. With Matt Davison with me on Saturday, it'll probably be on our booth because he loves watching the Masters. Y'all have a fantasy golf team together, right?
We do. No, we're in a league together.
Okay.
He's got his own team.
That's what I meant, like on a league.
I'm dusting his team, by the way.
Oh, you are?
Okay,
I'll have to give him a hard time about that. Who's your guy that's carrying your team?
I got a couple guys that are doing okay. Tony Finau needs to be better than he has been for me. Victor Hovland.
Oh, yeah.
Florida State Cowboy from Europe.
He's going to be special.
He might win this week.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's right there. I feel like he's about to get it done.
There'll be a dark horse name for you right there. All right, here's what we have coming on the program. And I mentioned Scott Frost met with the media today. Thought he was going to meet with them on Wednesday, but he flipped it. He went today. So we'll play you back some of the highlights of that. He had some really interesting things to say about the quarterbacks, about the wide receivers, and some other things that we'll get into with him here in just a little bit. Hour number 2, it's our baseball show. The head coach will be here. The Huskers sweep the Buckeyes over the weekend. Great weekend for the ball bat sports here. Husker softball now has won 10 in a row. They sweep Rutgers at home. The Huskers went to Columbus and swept the Buckeyes. That's always nice to beat Ohio State at something, so he should be in a good mood when he comes in here tonight. Nebraska will play at Omaha Wednesday, and then they have a 9-game homestand that will start with Rutgers, who's currently tied for first in the league with Illinois. That will start on Friday out at Haymarket Park.
Are you just so disappointed you don't have to travel?
I'm tired. We got back late last night. The Big Ten rules for baseball, softball, Jessica, are you have to schedule the last flight out of town to give you a buffer on Sunday if you have weather, you have a delay. You have to take the last flight. Well, the last flight leaving Columbus had got us back in Omaha, left Columbus, which is their East Coast time, at 8:45. And then we were supposed to leave Chicago. We flew Chicago at 10:45. It ended up not leaving until 12:15. Didn't land until 1:30. It was a little after 3 when the bus pulled back into Haymarket Park last night.
It's so tough traveling baseball and softball. I mean, it is. It's not just
because it's not charter. They don't
no,
charter.
I mean, and you got so many people, and then you have so much equipment, and it's just draining. And on top of how hard it is to just go play at somebody else's place, it's not an easy trek to get those teams there.
It's not glamorous.
No.
And they like to fly Southwest because bags fly free. I'm not here to do a free commercial for Southwest, but that's a big thing to ball bat sports because, as you mentioned, they're taking all their bats and gloves and all that stuff, so they have to
and it's
carry
like,
all that with them.
A lot of teams are probably superstitious, as I've seen in the past, and so they got to take a certain hitting net, or you never know what people think they got to take on these trips that make for a lot to carry.
Now, if Nebraska loses Wednesday, I am at fault.
Okay.
You talked about superstition. So I shave with an electric razor. Uh-huh. And I took it, but I didn't have it charged when I went. So I didn't shave all weekend. I was really scraggly. And the guys were like, you can't shave. We won all 3 games. You got to keep. I'm like, I can't do this.
No shave April for Greg.
Yeah, I know. So I shaved today. So Coach Bolt will probably come in here and later go, you may not. He may kick me out. May not let me call Wednesday night's game. But he'll be here at 7 o'clock to talk about that. Tim had it in the ticker. Fred Hoiberg has filled out his staff. Adam Howard, the new assistant coach, coming from South Alabama. I thought there might have been a connection with Doc Satter because he spent some time at Southern Miss, but he went to Southern Miss. He left Southern Miss the year before Doc got there as the head coach, so they miss each other by a year. But Adam Howard added to the staff. He's going to be here tomorrow. We're hoping to talk to Adam tomorrow. So things are starting to kind of take shape a little bit with Husker basketball. We heard about Derek Walker last week. We're still waiting on Trey and maybe even Lat Mayen about their decisions about whether they're going to come or go. But slowly but surely, we're kind of seeing what this looks like.
I feel like he moved pretty fast. I mean, a lot of times you make moves like that, you might wait till after the Final Four championship game's completely over, but I feel like that moved pretty quickly.
You're going to hopefully talk to Adam tomorrow.
Yes. Hopefully we'll get to sit down with him. We'll go over to the press conference and we'll chat. I'll dive all into that and find out all about the new head coach or the new assistant coach.
So looking forward to that chat tomorrow night here on the program. Also, that's what we have here. If you want to be a part of it, 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. That's our Sports Nightly hotline, which is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. Got a couple of texts that are coming in. We mentioned that the turf is being ripped out Saturday. In fact, they may even do it Saturday night after we get off the field. This texter said, I heard the new turf will be one shade of green. Can you confirm that? Trev Alberts did on his last radio show, talked about they're going to go to one shade of color on the turf. And right now it kind of alternates dark light all the way down the field. But it is going to be one shade.
I've been asked a lot of questions by a lot of people about the turf. So I know it's of high interest. But yeah, Trev said it's not going to be overly, and it's pretty much the same designs and everything.
Yep.
And just the shade of grass is all going to be the same.
All one color. I don't mind the kind of two-tone. I guess that's what you'd call it. I don't mind it.
I don't really have a preference one way or another. I don't know.
Some people
not a turf connoisseur.
Some people lay awake at night wondering about what that turf's going to look like.
I mean, I understand it's
don't.
like a lot of tradition, but for me, I just don't really have a preference one way or another, as long as it's not blue.
Right. Yeah.
Or
red. I wouldn't want a red turf either. I wouldn't.
You know, I went to Notre Dame and they have real grass, and it is like chipping in the rough. I mean, when you walk down there, that grass is so long. There are some places that have real grass that do that, but like Michigan State had their turf. It
was grass.
It was grass, but they had their cover on it until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Was it raining when we were up there? I can't remember. I think it was in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they had to protect it. So it's a lot to maintain that natural grass. But
and then we got a text about that too. Had Nebraska thought about natural grass? It's a pretty expensive thing to maintain natural. And I don't know that with the addition on the east side, it gets enough direct sunlight to grow it.
Yeah, just with the weather, and it is such wear and tear. It is so hard to maintain that. You look at a lot of places, by the end of the season, it looks pretty rough.
It does.
That real grass. So not easy by any means, and it's expensive, and I think I do know like a lot of players do like playing on natural grass.
Much easier on the body.
But
it is.
It's just kind of part of it.
Yeah. Tim has a great suggestion on our YouTube stream. Says, Greg, just don't shave on game days. That's a great idea,
There you
Tim. I'm
go.
going to slide through with all of that. Hey, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Keep those great suggestions coming my way. We'll come back, let you hear from the head coach. He met with the media earlier today, had a lot to say. We'll get into that next.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Okay, let's get a photo of the bride and groom standing next to that giant mud puddle. Good. Now smile.
Oh, honey, don't look now, but you're covered in mud.
Oh, so is your white tux.
You know what this means, don't you?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is the happiest day of my life. Don't you think we should head to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer?
I do.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
At Subaru, they love building vehicles for those who pack a lot into life. The redesigned 2021 Crosstrek is their way of saying more power to you. An upgrade in horsepower means you have a world of fun and adventure waiting for you. And the Crosstrek comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Visit Deto Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or at DetoSubaru.com. Upgraded horsepower available on select models.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it, the confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
You always dreamed of owning your own farm. Now you're living your dream, and it's time to pick the tractor that makes it all come together. Massey Ferguson has reinvented what compact and utility tractors can be and redefined what they do, making them easier to operate, more comfortable to drive, more versatile than ever.
Massey Ferguson gives Nebraska farmers the power and performance to win in the field. Manzer Equipment in Osmond, Nebraska, your full-time Massey Ferguson dealer. Proud supporters of the Huskers and Nebraska farmers since 1975.
When you're a sports fan, it's kind of like having a new love interest. You want to know all about them. Only instead of learning about someone's third-grade crush, you want to know the latest scores, stats, and lineups. To get that, you need Cox Internet. Cox gives you that window to look deeply into your beloved team's soul. Not to mention their injury list. Cox, we're sports 24/7. Learn more at cox.com/sports.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections, when it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/priority care.
Everyone knows that Dakota Mac is known for their great rates on long-term fixed ag real estate loans. But just how long-term are they? Well, even longer term than your first ride on the Gravitron at the county fair. And even longer term than the line to buy the corn dog you definitely shouldn't have eaten before you got on the Gravitron. Oof, so long-term.
It's Jim Persinger from Dakota Mac. Give me a call at 308-284-3260 to learn all about our competitive rates on 30-year fixed-rate loans.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network broadcast center. It's sponsored by Acres. It's the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night. Our baseball show with the head coach at the top of the hour. Talk a little football here in this segment. You're having quite a chat in the old YouTube room about grass fields and places. They're fired up about this, aren't they?
I mean, I think... I don't know why is it interesting? Maybe we should ask that. Maybe they can answer. They ask us questions. Let's let them ask. Why is it such a big deal to you? I mean, I personally just don't have a preference, but I don't know.
It's hard anymore to find even high school fields that are still grass because everybody's going to the turf. They don't have to worry about hiring somebody to mow it, fertilize it, water it, all those type of things.
You know, Oklahoma had natural grass, and it was crazy the amount of time that they would be down there just babying it all the time, especially at the end of the season, because it is just torn up. It's almost impossible.
You play one rain game, it's done.
And then you think about this, because you can't really practice on that field much. They would have walkthroughs, but they couldn't go in the stadium much because they would tear up the field even more. So that's another part. That's another advantage of having turf, is that you can actually practice in there and not have to worry about tearing it up even more.
Or hold other events like commencements, which is what Nebraska is going to do.
Or Garth Brooks. Well, I guess maybe you could have Garth Brooks on a grass.
You'd have to cover it all up, but yeah. All right, the head coach met with the media today. Huskers only have a couple of practices left, and then the spring game will wrap up spring football on Saturday, 1 o'clock kick. It is the FNBO Husker spring game, the red-white spring game on Saturday. The head coach met today and talked about his general feeling about spring ball to this point.
We've gotten a lot better at a lot of things. There's still some things I'm not happy with that need to get cleaned up. That's spring ball in a nutshell. Didn't think the offense had a great day today. We just need to execute a little bit better. We're doing some simple things a lot better. Spring's been fun. There's been a lot of guys with good energy. We're missing quite a few guys that are going to be key contributors, and it'll be nice to have them back, but I think a lot of guys got better over the course of spring.
Pretty good assessment there of what the last 3-4 weeks have been like.
Yeah, and we had this discussion the other day about how sometimes it's the advantage of the defense, right? When you're going up against your own offense all the time. Maybe the defense is starting to kind of figure some things out a little bit at the end of spring ball. Not quite as surprised, but I'm working on a piece on Anthony Grant for tomorrow and going through a lot of highlights, and there's some playmakers out there on the field for this
He's
offense.
One of them.
Yes, absolutely.
The junior college running back has opened some eyes for this Husker team. Okay, how about the quarterbacks? Where are they? And the coach was asked, is there a timetable to name a starter for the upcoming season?
Yeah, the timetable is whenever it's clear to us and to everybody. And I think there's a lot of guys doing some good things, but we're nowhere near ready to make an announcement yet.
And so he was asked, the follow-up was, what else do you want to see? What do you want to see maybe Saturday from your quarterbacks in the spring game that all of us will get a chance to watch?
Consistency. We're doing some really good things at times. You know, in this league, you know, you're not gonna score a lot unless you can be consistent and sustain some drives and create some big plays along the way. And to get opportunities at big plays, you have to be consistent and keep moving the chains. And I think that's really important in the Big Ten.
Are you okay that they aren't naming somebody yet?
No. I mean, yes, I'm okay. I don't think it's surprising.
What you saw by doing it now. You want people to still chase the bone.
Well, and the summer's just so important to, you know, make sure that guys are continuing to compete and push each other. And so, yeah, no, not at all. And, you know, it's still, you know, a work in progress for all of these guys. All of them are new. Logan Smothers is new to this kind of situation. Casey Thompson still is on a new team. Chubba Purdy, all these guys are in a new situation. And, you know, having these conversations with these players, even the offensive linemen, like, they're still trying to work out playing together, right? So we don't even know. That's going to continue to be a work in progress throughout the fall.
You mentioned playmakers, and Trey Palmer, the transfer from LSU, we're hearing his name come up when the coaches talk, when other players talk. Here's the head coach talking about Trey.
Trey's fit great, and he fits in great because of his personality. He brings energy every single day. He's made a lot of plays out there. He can really run. So I think with some more time working with him, he has a chance to do some special things, and looking forward to seeing that development.
Coach was pushed, Jessica, to say, okay, what have you seen from him? Give us a little bit more details. Here's a pretty good story.
He's just got the kind of personality you want to be around. He came into the huddle one time earlier in spring during a 2-minute drill and said, just throw me a deep ball and this thing will be over. And 2 plays later, we threw him a deep ball and it was over. And you'd like to see that kind of confidence and energy coming into the huddle and on the field every day.
There's the money quote for the day.
Love that. Again, watching some of that footage, you can tell he's that guy. You know, he'd throw me the ball, I'll go make a play. And gosh, it's so big for a team to have that. Like, hey, whatever you want to do, we'll end this thing right now. Just give me a chance.
He's got some speed. I don't know what his 40 times are. I don't know where it would stack up to maybe a Samore, but you know he's quick. He's got pretty good size, and by all accounts, his hands are pretty good. And I think he'll affect this team in special teams as well as on the offense.
Yeah, and you know one thing, too, that I took away is, and I've heard this a lot from guys as well, is that personality part of it, that he's fun to be around. So when Coach said it, but I've heard that a few times, that he's a great teammate. He's a really great teammate, and he's already well-liked in the locker room. So that speaks volumes about him.
So there's a transfer portal guy on offense. On defense, and the guy who would match up a lot with Trey is Tommy Hill. We mentioned Tommy way back when we were talking about players to kind of keep an eye on for spring football. Tommy is from Arizona State, transferred here to Nebraska, played for the Sun Devils, but just wanted a different look at college football. Here's the head coach talking about Tommy Hill.
Tommy's been trying to get 2 interceptions in one practice since we started, because I told him I'd give him the number he wanted if he could ever get 2 picks in a practice. He's been a bright spot. He's got a lot to learn yet and consistency, but there's really no doubt of his playmaking ability, and I love the energy and passion he brings to the game as well.
That's awesome. I love that. There's so much personality, it seems like. They're competing, they're talking trash. I mean, the way that they're celebrating when they're winning, and no matter who it is, you know, watching the running back score, it's all the running backs celebrating each other, the wide receivers, Casey Thompson's running down the field. It's really fun to see this team, because there's a lot of personality, and they like battling with each other here in the early goings.
He's currently wearing the number 5, which was Cam Tater-Britt's number last year. So I don't know if that's the one he wants, or does he?
I wonder what was his number. What was his number?
I don't know.
Before?
I have to look that up. I don't know. If I'm him, I would want to keep it at 5 because there's a guy that's probably going to get drafted here in a couple of weeks. I think I'd want to keep that tradition going, wearing the number 5 here. All right, the competition in the defensive back room. Here's the coach talking about what he has seen from not only Tommy but that entire group.
There's a real camaraderie in that room. Even with new guys, it's fun to see. I think the whole group's getting better. Individuals are getting better. There's a lot of talent in that room, but there's going to be some young guys, so we got to bring them together, and Coach Chins and Coach Fish are doing a good job of that.
There are a lot of young guys. That'll be a group that I'm going to be interested in watching on Saturday, that defensive back. We know Quentin Newsom's probably locked down a starter spot. Not sure about the other side. It might be Tommy Hill. Miles Farmer, you think's probably one of the safeties, but how's the rest of that jigsaw puzzle look? I don't know.
Something just dawned on me because we were just talking about if it might be offense versus defense. I mean, they have been battling it out all spring, and in front of a crowd, it could be we could see some fireworks. It could be pretty heated battle out there on Saturday.
There was a terrific social media piece that the football account put out over the weekend, and it was wide receivers versus DBs.
I loved it. It was awesome.
It was great. And hearing those two coaches, Mickey and Coach Fisher, those guys, they're going at it too, I think.
Yeah, and I can't remember which defensive back it was that I talked to, said that Mickey Joseph talks to the defensive backs, and the same thing, Travis talks to the wide receivers, and it's a good relationship. And that is two groups that are both have a lot of talent, a lot of depth, but maybe the wide receivers a little bit more older guys, where the secondary a little bit younger guys. But, I mean, it is, they've been battling for sure.
Those are the funnest things I like to watch. Don't tell Jeremiah. I like to watch when I go to practice is the wide receivers and the DBs going at each other.
Do not tell him that. Hopefully he's not listening.
Okay. If I get mad at him, I might slip that into a conversation. All right, what are we going to see Saturday? I've used the term over the last month. It's going to be vanilla because it's on TV. Northwestern's going to be wanting to see if they can pick up some Mark Whipple tendencies for what he's put into this offense. Here's what Scott Frost said about what they're kind of planning on doing on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, we're certainly everything that we've done in the past is on tape. A lot of stuff that we're going to be doing now isn't on tape. So we certainly don't want to show many of our cards, but there'll be some fun things happening out there, and guys are going to want to compete and run the plays, and defenses are going to work. So we'll find a balance.
Northwestern's spring game is not televised, so you got to play it close to the vest. You can't put a formation out there that Northwestern go, ooh, okay, we got to practice on that before we go to Ireland.
Was that by choice?
I don't think they really do a game per se. They just kind of have an open practice.
Oh,
but
okay.
That is
you
not
probably don't have
televised.
many people to attend to call get that much
There will not be
going.
50,000 plus.
That's not something you want to put on TV because it's a big recruiting tool for programs across the country to have your spring game on. And hey, look at these crowds for a spring game, and you hype up the program because it's not a game and it is a lot more fun. So you can kind of show off the program a little bit. It's a huge recruiting tool. So if you're a program that probably doesn't have that many people coming, you probably don't want to put that on national television.
Right, it'd be a negative for you. And to that end, here's the coach talking about how big a weekend this is coming up to finish off spring ball, yes, to get the guys out in front of fans, yes. But from the recruiting standpoint, it's a big weekend. Here he is.
Yeah, any chance we get to get recruits on campus is a win for us. I think we're scheduled to have quite a few good ones here Saturday, so we're looking forward to it. It turns into almost like a fall game day where we have to host some guys on unofficial visits and some visitors, and that makes it exciting. But we love our fans and the enthusiasm around Husker football, and we want recruits to get to see that as many times as possible.
And if, I think the ticket sales are approaching 50,000. The weather now, as we told you, is good. There will be a good walk-up, I think. It will be a good recruiting day.
Well, and also what's so big, I think, on spring games, and it sounds like there's going to be a lot of alumni coming back, is you get a feel for that brotherhood and what, you got coaches and players that are doing a spring game. You recruit them, before and after the game. But in the game, you got those former players that have been here and can keep selling that program while they're standing around talking to guys. Sometimes the best salespeople are the guys that have already been through the program and have done it and can come back and say, hey, this is why I came here and why it was the right choice for me.
Should be a good day. 1 o'clock kickoff. Our pregame coverage here on the network begins at 11, 2-hour pregame. We will not have postgame because as soon as the scrimmage ends, we're going to get you off to Husker baseball. They're playing Rutgers over at Haymarket Park later that day. Our Sports Nightly hotline is open and available for you. It's brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. The number if you want to be a part of it, 402-413-2400. Your thoughts. Are you coming to the spring game? What do you want to see from the Huskers on Saturday? We'll get into that next.
Shop Woodhouse Ford first and experience the difference. The all-new 2022 F-150 is confidently capable and relentlessly tough. Equipped with features that allow you to work smarter and harder so you can get the job done faster. With 12 models to choose from, the F-150 was built to help you make the most of your work week or weekend. Shop, finance, and buy your way online at WoodhouseFord.com or one of our 3 convenient Ford locations.
It's the final days of Ford Truck Month. Your last chance to save big on the only trucks built Ford tough. Work or play, get after it in a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Get a Ford Maverick or get after any adventure in a Ford Ranger pickup. Take advantage of our best offers on the full Ford lineup of trucks. But get moving, offers are ending soon. Get to the final days of Ford Truck Month. Maverick has limited availability. See dealer for inventory stock.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The university has a new undergraduate business and law major. Students majoring in business and law are learning to use legal knowledge to better solve business challenges. They are also gaining skills in regulatory compliance, financial services, securities regulation, and corporate social responsibility. Upon graduation, they will boost the state's talent pool in these critical areas of expertise.
The 0-1 pitch to Max. Anderson hammers one to center. That's hit pretty well. Kern backing up. He's to the track. He's to the wall. And that ball is gone. Anderson gets a grand slam to dead center. And Nebraska's lead grows to 10-5.
This Wednesday, Huskers baseball is back in Omaha to take on the Mavericks with first pitch set for 6:30 p.m. Central. Pre-game coverage on the Huskers radio network begins at 6. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Huskers, do you want a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding? Explore the many ways you can be a part of the insurance community. Go to iian.org/careers today. Business insurance is a lot to manage. Did you know a trusted choice independent insurance agent can help guide you through it at no extra cost to you? They'll do your insurance. You just do you. Find out more at trustedchoice.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
And Burkhart grounds to second. Ibarra charges, flips to first in time. And Nebraska storms into Ann Arbor and sweeps a doubleheader from 19th-ranked Michigan. They win the nightcap 7-4. Nebraska softball returns to the road to open a 3-game series at Michigan State Friday. Join Matt Coatney for all the action, beginning with pregame at 4:50. First pitch at 5 on the Huskers radio network, Huskers.com, and the official Nebraska Athletics app.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
The 2022 Mazda CX-5's inviting interior and eye-catching exterior combine passenger comfort and driving pleasure. Equipped with standard all-wheel drive, the award-winning 2022 Mazda CX-5 creates confidence on your journey. The interior surrounds you with sophistication tailored to you. It's a CUV crafted for together. Shop the 2022 Mazda CX-5 by visiting one of our 2 convenient Woodhouse Mazda locations or shop online at woodhouse.com.
Nothing goes better with Husker sports than Fairbury. Fairbury, premium quality hot dogs deliver the home game experience to your family and friends. The highest quality beef, pork, and natural spices give you the best tasting hot dog and your hometown favorite Big Red hot dog. Look for Fairbury hot dogs all year long at your local grocery store. Fairbury, the official hot dog of the Huskers and Nebraska fans everywhere.
At Great Western Bank, they are committed to your community. With all the local decisions and personal attention of a hometown community bank, they also have the convenience of a bigger bank. It's the best of both, so you can bank with your neighbors and your friends. Great Western Bank wishes all area teams a safe and successful season. Great Western Bank, member FDIC.
Momentum. It's building at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. With game-changing work in precision agriculture, nanoscience, and digital humanities. We're unlocking mysteries in brain research, solving the impossible with remote surgery using robots. And we're creating bold futures with world-leading research in early childhood education. We don't slow down, and we're not letting up. We are Nebraska.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Monday night. Again, we'll bolt in studio at the top of the hour. Get your comments, questions ready for him. Huskers off until Wednesday night. They'll play the Mavericks of Omaha up at Anderson Field in Omaha on Wednesday night. 402-413-2400. That's the number to dial us up with a comment or question on our text line. Brett in Columbus says, I want to see Ernest Hausman running wide open on every play and score 3 touchdowns. Well, Brett, he's a linebacker. Now, maybe he can pick up a scoop and score a run in there, but and I'll tell you, they do like Ernest, and that does not shock me.
Me either. I mean, you knew that I was a big fan after I interviewed him on signing day. I was so impressed. I mean, freshmen aren't supposed to be that good in interviews, so you could already tell how smart he was with the game and how good of a head he had on his shoulders, and that's a tough spot to play, a linebacker as a freshman, but I'm not surprised that he's handling it well after just kind of the few conversations that I had with him about just how smart he is with the game, and you knew that he was going to come in here and handle business.
And with Reimer out for the spring with an injury, that opens up some reps, and he's been able to take advantage of that, and I think he's opened some eyes with the coaches and his teammates with his play in the spring. Love those kind of stories, love those local guys making a splash on the Husker team. We are about an hour and a half away from the national championship game tonight. North Carolina and Kansas will play for college basketball's crown. Last night, South Carolina won the women's game over UConn. They kind of took it to them. I thought it was not a good game. I thought it'd be closer than that, but South Carolina's so good.
Yeah, and their length and athleticism is just such a tough matchup. And it's funny because UConn was kind of the underdog, and they underdog. Yeah, I know, right? But that's how they phrased it. Right. They were being counted out, but to me, they look like they didn't know what, like they hadn't been there before, which they hadn't been there in a
couple years.
So, yeah. And none of these players had won a national title. So he didn't have a player. Gino doesn't have a player that's won a national title on his team, and that's pretty rare. Normally, they've won it so many times that you've had at least one player that's been on that team that knows what it's about playing on that stage. And boy, South Carolina put it all together last night, and yeah, it's just. It wasn't as good as of a game as I was hoping it would be.
First title game loss for Gino. It was 11-0 in championship games.
Did you watch any of the Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, quote-unquote Manning cast that they put together?
I did not. We were traveling, so I didn't get to see any of that. So.
It was gold. It was awesome. You talk about two goats.
ESPN's kind of found a little niche with those kind of things.
Yeah. I mean, Caitlin Clark came on, but they had a bunch of different players. Kelsey Plum, Steph Curry. They had Bill Walton. They had different guests, kind of like exactly what the Mannings do. And it was entertaining. But I also really like Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi, so I enjoyed it.
Sue Bird's got that great funny commercial with Samuel Jackson and Barkley and those guys.
The double birds.
Clever.
She said that was the first time she had ever met Larry Bird was when and she told that story on their show that, and I would have thought they would have crossed paths or met before.
Yeah.
And that was the first time she had met them.
Well, this will be fun tonight. Kansas is a 4-point favorite. I think the Jayhawks win this game. I know you and Andrew are pulling for Carolina. Andrew's got his blue shirt on today. But I just think Kansas didn't have to extend the energy that Carolina did the other night. I feel like Carolina kind of felt like they won their title Saturday. Does that make sense?
It does, but then also, though, North Carolina's just been peaking. They've been playing, they've been putting it all together, and they've been on this great run, and I don't know. Who knows how it's going to go. I don't want Kansas to win.
And I'm not rooting for them either. I don't really have a dog in the fight. I'm not a Carolina guy. I'm not a Kansas guy, but I want a good game. Like you said the last night, the women's game, it was like 15 at the end of the quarter. I want something tight tonight.
Yeah, like
Close.
even the Kansas-Villanova game wasn't a great game.
Not.
So, yeah, let's just get a good game. That's what my dad and I were talking about when did Texas and Michigan play? Women's. Who did Michigan play? It was like
no, Texas ended up playing Stanford and Ohio State.
Well, whoever it was with Michigan, I was like, I couldn't root for Michigan, but whoever they were playing, I couldn't root for.
They played Louisville.
Okay.
In that
it was
region final.
it was. Who did Michigan play before Louisville though?
South Dakota.
Okay. I don't know. I can't remember, but it was tough. But I just give us a good game. You know, just give us a good game.
Yep. 8:20 the time tonight. TBS as the television. If you're searching your channel, and a lot of people feel like it's going to be on CBS, not the case. Same thing with the final. The semifinals were on TBS.
That was part of the deal when there was a big bidding war with ESPN. ESPN was, hey, we've got all these channels that we can put all the games on. And so CBS concocted this deal where it would be on all these different channels. But part of that deal is that it has to rotate the championship game to all those different channels.
It doesn't bother me. Pretty much every service has TBS. So how about Eric Church? He really lit a fire. His fans are mad at him. He's the country music singer.
Yeah.
He's a big Carolina fan. He canceled a sold-out show Saturday night so that he could go to the Final Four and root on Carolina. Some of his fans are really mad. He goes, I'm going to come back and do a free concert. Well, that's fine, but for the people who bought the tickets, they may not be able to get in because if you've opened the door free, some people are going to get in and didn't buy a ticket to the original show.
I'm not upset with him. I mean, it was Duke, North Carolina, the first time they've ever played in the NCAA tournament. Last game for Coach K.
I know.
You would have gone if you had had a chance.
Well, but he's not a Duke guy. He's a Carolina guy. But yeah, to go back.
But Carolina is still history.
People are mad. They're mad. The country music fans are mad. They don't like this kind of stuff.
Are you an Eric Church fan?
I like him. Yeah, I think he's coming. Is he coming to PBA? I think maybe, or is that maybe Jake Owens coming to town?
Or he already came, I think. I think he already came, didn't he?
I think he did, yeah. Andrew would know. All right, hey, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. 402-413-2400, the number to dial us up with a comment or question. We're back to wrap up hour one next.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. the official foundation company of the Huskers.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Don't let the cold winter worry you. As Nebraska's leading supplier of propane, you can count on Sapp Brothers to keep your family warm this winter. You're like family, and your safety is the #1 priority of Sapp Brothers. When it comes to your propane needs, Sapp Brothers has you covered. Visit www.sappbros.net/petroleum to find your local Sapp Brothers propane expert. Celebrating 50 years of fueling America's heartland and welcoming guests, Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
There's always a reason to celebrate, and we are at Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Blair during the Jeep Celebration event. From the legendary 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee to the redesigned new Jeep Compass, Jeep carries a lineup of capable SUVs built for modern adventures on and off-road. Don't miss out. Shop now during the Jeep Celebration event in-store in Blair or online at WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you for a few more minutes. Our baseball show with Will Bolt coming up at the top of the hour. Last week we brought up PJ Fleck. Remember the weird pictures that everybody was like seeing of him?
Yeah.
Apparently, he knows people are aware of this. He explained that he had an accident 2 summers ago. A bungee cord flew back and hit him in the face. So he had surgery a couple of months ago to fix the damage, and he still has swelling in his face.
Oh, yeah. You showed me the press conference picture. He looked a little puffy.
He did. And everybody's like, bad Botox job or something. But so he's made a comment about that because there were a lot of people asking about what's...
Man, he is gets so much social media attention.
He does. He does. And a lot of people aren't big... I'm not a big PJ fan, but it works for him.
Him and Jim Harbaugh, they compete for who...
they do.
Who's the most dramatic?
Totally different.
Who gets the most drama?
Harbaugh's kind of surly. PJ's kind of being this guy that's always just on Mountain Dew or Red Bull all the time. All right, you want to do a weekend winner?
Yeah, so I had one that I wanted to get in today. So last night, before they tipped off in the Women's National Championship game, they did a big tribute to Title IX because we're celebrating the 50th year.
Anniversary.
The 50th anniversary of Title IX. And so even though I don't want them to win tonight, Kansas, the men's basketball team, they're my winners because during the Final Four, they wore a Title IX shirt. On the front, it said more is possible. And on the back, they had a clip from Title IX that talked about no person in the United States shall on the basis of sex be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. So this is their warm-up shirts on the Final Four, bringing awareness and celebrating Title IX. That is, we've come so far in 50 years, and we still have work to go. But, and that's what they were talking about on the show is that it has to be everybody coming together, and the men have to support too. We need the support from all around, and so I thought that was really, really cool gesture by Kansas.
Very nice. My winner would be Husker softball, 10 in a row. How about that? 10 straight wins. That is a heck of a run.
I was out there on Saturday for Bark in the Park. That was fun.
Were there some dogs around?
Yes, there was. Yep.
Nice.
It was a great crowd, and it was nice weather.
That was a good game.
Yeah,
that was a 2-1 game.
You were getting used to seeing just them light up the scoreboard. But Olivia Farrell, who was on Sports Nightly last week, I was so impressed with how she handled the game because she had some runners on, but she worked back through it. It was a great played game, defensive battles, pitchers duel, and so it's kind of fun to see that when we're used to seeing them just
mash it.
Yeah, all the time. But I think Billy Andrews is starting to get walked a little bit, unfortunately.
Going to happen.
Yeah.
So somebody else is going to have to pick her up behind him. So they go to Michigan State for a weekend series. They're not back home for a little while. But, man, 10 in a row for Rhonda Ravel's team. They got to be knocking on the door being a ranked team in some of those national polls. All right, that's going to wrap up Hour 1, our baseball show with the head coach. Coming up in the next hour, come on back, have some fun with us. We'll talk some ball.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Start your car buying journey today at Woodhouse Ford and experience the difference. Discover a new era in the 2022 Ford Edge. The seamless integration of power, performance, and technology allows you to feel confident on the road. Place a custom order today and design an Edge that meets the demands of your lifestyle. Plus, shop online anytime at woodhouseford.com or visit us in Blair, Omaha, or Plattsmouth.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska's new collaborative biosecurity lab is leading research to safeguard America's food supply against growing threats in partnership with the U.S. Departments of Defense and Homeland Security. The lab brings together world-leading expertise in agriculture and a deep understanding of the complexities of strategic deterrence across the threat spectrum and in multiple domains.
Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go is mealtime made easy. Just order delicious meals online for convenient curbside pickup or have it delivered. Want breakfast? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Need lunch? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Doing dinner? Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go. Get pancakes, burgers, fried chicken, lasagna, Hai-Chai Asian dishes, sushi, pizza, and more. If you're craving it, Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go has it with curbside pickup or delivery. Order today at Hy-Vee.com/mealtime.
Live from the Huskers Radio Network, this is the Husker Baseball Show with head coach Will Bolt. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Worked himself some walks. This pitch is drilled to right center field. Going back is Cade Kern, looking up, and it is gone. Chick rolls one out of here.
Olsen at the belt. Deals the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Olsen with a huge strikeout of Zach DeZenzo. And the Buckeyes leave the tying run at third base. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Everett swings and hammers one to deep left center field. That is trouble, and that is gone. Griffin Everett gets a hold of one to left center, and the Huskers get the lead right back on the 2-run shot. Have it there set. The 0-2 pitch. Bryce swings and rolls one down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Jackson scores easily. Here comes Sartori. He's going to score. Matthews dives into second with a 2-run double. The 0-1 pitch to Max. Anderson hammers one to center. That's hit pretty well. Kern backing up. He's to the track. He's to the wall. And that ball is gone. Anderson gets a grand slam to dead center.
3-2 pitch on the way from Finning. Drilled to left field. Going back is Trey Lipsy. He's looking up, and it is gone. Luke Sartori drives it out of here. A grand slam. The second of the weekend for the Huskers. And they now lead it 17-5.
Here is your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
And here to talk some baseball, the head coach with us for the next hour. If you want to be a part of the program, here are the numbers: 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. If texting's your more preferred mode of communication, we can pass those comments along to the head coach. Huskers coming off of a weekend sweep over Ohio State in Columbus. The best game was the Friday game. You win that one 5-3, and then you really you had to love the aggressiveness that your guys showed the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, that was kind of the message after Friday's game to the team was we won the game and we did what it took to win, which was great. But we had done that the previous 2 weeks, and so we just really wanted to kind of learn from that. So the thing we talked about was just we were very aggressive to start the weekend on the first inning, and then we were in the 8th and 9th inning, and that's what really paid off for us on the bases and kind of just being more ready to hit at the plate. And we really took that into Saturday's game and Sunday's game too, where we just really kept the pressure on them for the full 9 innings both days, and just up and down the lineup, literally each guy in the lineup kind of just chipping in a little bit, and whether it be a walk, hit by pitch, or a grand slam, I mean, we had a lot of contributors. 2-out
approach. That was so much better Saturday and Sunday than really it's probably been all year long.
Yeah, Sunday's game, 13 2-out runs. I mean, that's got to be some kind of record for us. I mean, that's hard to do, and we did it in a lot of different ways. 2-run single, grand slam, 2-run double, just very competitive at bats. A lot of 3-2 counts, a lot of 2-strike hits as well. Just finding a way to put the ball in play and just extending innings.
You got some big outs out of your bullpen. You had to like what some guys were ready when they got their name called to come in and help you out.
That's the key, and that is the absolute thing you have to do as a reliever is you've got to be ready to throw your best pitches as soon as you step foot on the mound. I mean, you can't wait to settle in, and started with Olsen on Friday coming in a huge spot. First and third, 1 out, and gets a punch out and a pop-up and gets us off the field there. And Bragg did a really nice job finishing off both the first 2 games. And Tyler Martin, I mean, what can you say about what he gave us on Saturday? I think turned the series just in terms of saving our pen a little bit, giving us an opportunity to go to the bullpen a little bit earlier on Sunday. And man, he was heroic.
You've seen Tyler throw a lot.
Yeah.
Best appearance for him?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and he's a guy that we usually kind of keep to maybe a couple batters, 2 or 3 batters, and occasionally he'll get up and down. But man, he just kept throwing well. He just kept throwing the ball over the plate, and it's not unexpected. I mean, you look at his numbers, most of his walks have come in 1 outing. And he's walked a few too many guys, but he hasn't given up a lot of hits this year. So when he's pounding the strike zone, he's going to make it tough.
And then Bragg, you used him to close out 2 games. Is that maybe kind of where you're headed with Braxton?
Yeah, and to a certain degree, obviously not the 95 to 98 that Spencer gave us, but just the way his tempo and the way that he came in and just pounded the strike zone. felt a little bit like what the end of the games did for us last year, where just getting ahead, the slider looked really sharp. You know, the fastball does play up in a short stint, and he had a really good look to him when I gave him the ball on both days. He was excited for that opportunity, and came in and did a great job for us.
You go back to Ohio, and you found an Ohio native to really help you out Saturday, Sunday. Nick Wimmers all of a sudden comes through for you in a couple of big situations.
Yeah, we've been kind of searching for that extra left-handed hitter, and it was kind of born. The opportunity was born a couple different ways. He had a good pinch hit appearance on the Tuesday game against Creighton, and came off the bench and got a knock for us in the 9th inning. And he's been showing well in some of the live stuff that we've done, and some of the scrimmages, and his BP's been good. So also, Luke Jessen was kind of banged up this weekend, so he wasn't available to really do much for us for a couple of days. So needed that left-handed bat. Wimmers, next man up, and he really stepped up. I mean, he was on base, I think, 7 or 8 times this weekend. Just looked great and had some really key moments for us.
Big 2-out hit in the first inning to get you on the board where it looked like you might not cash an opportunity, and that was big because you felt like going to the ballpark, if you could jump on them, that it might be your day.
Yeah, and it was we were given almost the exact same opportunity we were the weekend before. We load the bases in the first inning. Looks like they're getting ready to get out of it, and Wimmer steps up and puts a really good swing on a ball at the middle. And that obviously turned the tide there. And it's just little moments like that. It's usually 5 or 6 pitches in the game that can kind of turn it. And you look at the score and it's lopsided, but if that doesn't happen, the game could have gone a totally different way.
He was at the same junior college as Cody Frank. How did you get Nick here?
Well, a lot of it was Cody just giving us a heads up. He got his opportunity in junior college because one of the other catchers had gotten injured. So he ended up catching a ton of guys that were high profile guys from their junior college, like good stuff, good velocity, handled them well, and had a really good year swinging the bat. So just had that chance to come bring him in, and he's really stepped up.
Some text questions coming in for you. Any injury updates on Core Jackson, Colby Gomez, Jake Buns, or Kyle Perry? It's a long list, by the way.
Yeah.
Too long.
Core Jackson got evaluated this morning. Looks like he doesn't have anything too significant, so could potentially see him on Wednesday. If not, then I would anticipate him being ready to go for the weekend.
Good.
Jake Buns has been playing catch. He's thrown a couple of bullpens, and we're just kind of in the wait-and-see mode with him to see how he feels and responds and bounces back to that. Colby Gomez, it's just a matter of him, having a chance to get back on the mound, and we haven't really had that opportunity even in practice yet for him to feel good enough to get back on the mound to see that. Kyle Perry, unfortunately, not great news there. He's going to have a doctor's appointment on the 17th, and looks like he's going to have surgery scheduled on the 19th. So to the extent of what that looks like, we're not quite sure, but his availability for the rest of the season, not going to be there.
That's tough. Bob and Lincoln, same kind of thing. Was want to know about Colby, why we haven't seen him in the lineup or on the mound here in the last couple of weeks. He's a really talented kid. You just don't give up on guys like that.
Yeah, no. And, again, kind of what we were able to see is just that pass it down the line mentality. I think that's the point that all of the guys that aren't playing, we need to make sure that's at the front of their mind is when they get to the plate, we're moving the baseball, having a good at-bat and passing the line along and just being consistent. So Jack Stiles playing great first base for us. Again, the numbers aren't going to stand out, but he's been on base a lot. He scored 3 runs on Sunday. His on base was over 400 for the weekend. So, Colby just needs to stay ready, and if given, he'll get another opportunity and just needs to stay ready for it.
Jack showed a lot of power last year. We haven't seen him homer yet. What do you make of what he's doing at the plate?
Yeah. Here of late, he's hit a couple of doubles, hit a couple balls in the gaps. He kind of had the back deal last year. He was off to a great start, and the back kind of started barking at him. So I don't think it's not necessarily something that's bothering him. He's made an adjustment physically to try to see the ball better, and he's kind of keeping his head more still. And it's just a matter of him getting that comfort level going, of that balance between putting the ball in play, seeing the baseball, and driving the baseball, and kind of picking your spot. So, again, you look up, and I think last year the walk to strikeout wasn't great. I think he only walked twice the entire year. Now he's, putting together some better at-bats. Now we just kind of see him be on the barrel more and kind of pick his spots to turn the barrel loose and show that power that he does have.
I thought he had a shot in the Creighton game when that wind was blowing in that some nights might have gone out. And that's a big ballpark, and he put a really good swing on that.
Yeah, he did, and he's done that a couple of times here. He had a couple of swings this past weekend as well. So, everybody needs to stay ready, and Colby, he'll get another opportunity, and he just needs to make sure that he's ready for it.
Brandon in Omaha said, Coach, with Wimmers looking pretty sharp, and you already have Karen and Everett behind the plate, could Wimmer play some at first?
Yeah, that's a great question, too. We saw a little bit of it in the fall, and that's something that we've kicked around, too, because, again, you start to run a little bit, and that's why we haven't seen him, quite frankly, this year, is because he's the number 3 catcher, and you've got 2 guys in front of him there. You've got Luke Jessen, who's been DHing quite a bit, and some other guys. So, we're going to kind of explore all options. We obviously, one of the things we've done a much better job of, and the reason our record is kind of on the right side of things in the conference is because we've taken better care of the baseball defensively. And, so we got to make sure that we're getting a trade-off there. If we're going to play somebody a little bit out of position, we need to make sure that we are certainly getting that offense.
You sure did play well defensively this weekend. I'm thinking Style made a terrific running in grab on a bunt. Cord Jackson made an unbelievable play going toward right field.
Yep.
You threw some leather at him this weekend.
Yeah, 6 double plays we turned on the weekend. So that was huge. It was huge in Cody's outing, and it was huge in the outing on Sunday where McCarville, got through 4 innings, but we had a lot of traffic on the bases, turned 2 double plays that ended up being huge. So, again, I think that's what we're capable of, is that type of defense. Sartori made a couple of really good catches. Cam Chick, his speed comes in handy out there. So I think we found some of that personnel that, when we hit that reset button there right before conference. So, again, we just need to limit the free bases, and that starts with defense.
Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Let's go to the phones. Mark in Omaha, you're up next here with Coach Bolt.
Yeah, hello, Coach.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah. Say, first question, first thing is that, would you say hello to Danny Marcuzzo for me?
Oh, I sure will. I will say hello to Danny.
I hit with him. He hit with me all through high school, so tell him the blind guy said hello.
I will.
And anyway, I was wondering, one of my hitters come down there for your winter camp, and I asked him how it went, and he said he graded out real well, but you guys told him to work on his disconnect, and I said I'm not familiar with what that term meant.
Oh, I'm not familiar with the exact context of it, so I don't know disconnect. I think maybe just disconnected with the upper and lower half maybe would be what I would think when I hear that. So I couldn't tell you. I don't know specifically what that's referring to, but I would imagine it would be maybe just pulling off the ball or something like that, just disconnected from the upper and lower half a little bit with a swing.
Mark, appreciate it. Thanks for the phone call, 402-413-2400. Danny's been with you for a couple years and pretty valuable part of your team.
Yeah, I mean he's run camps for us. He's coached the infielders and done a good job with that, and helped with on-campus recruiting. Obviously does a lot to help us prepare. So, again, we're talking about a volunteer assistant coach. I mean, he's been a junior college grinder. He's done a lot of different things, and he's worked without a paycheck from the University of Nebraska for 3 years now for us, and gone through the pandemic as well, and just does a great job. And I've been an infield coach my whole life, and coming here I kind of expected to do the same. But when Danny was, when I hired him and I saw his work, and he's done a good job, and kind of let him take it. So he's a valuable member of our staff, as all our guys are.
Mark dialed us up on our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brand, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. 402-413-2400. More of the show coming up.
So, this date was really fun.
Yeah, thanks for dinner.
For sure. For sure. Not really sure why I'm playing with my keys. I literally took an Uber here.
Oh, me too.
Wow.
Can I
Wanna
ride
grab
you
a beer?
around?
Start the night out right, because you can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. Decide to ride. This message is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber. Copyright 2022, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more. Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Pivot control has never been easier. T&L Irrigation now offers a new control panel called Precision Point Touch. It's a full-color 7-inch graphic touchscreen that's easy to use and gives you lots of great tools to make your irrigation faster and more efficient. Set up your pivots the way you want. You can update your older controls to the new Precision Point control panel too. Call your local T&L dealer or visit TLIRR.com. T&L Irrigation, like no other.
Make it custom, make it yours. Right now at Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Blair, you can get up to $2,500 off MSRP when you place a custom 2022 Ram 2500 or 3500 order during Ram Truck Month. Get $1,000 off MSRP when you custom order. Plus, with a qualifying trade-in, get an additional $1,000 off. Business owners get an additional $500 off. Shop Ram Truck Month online at WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com.
The Nebraska FFA is growing leaders
and building communities.
Together, we are strengthening agriculture.
The Nebraska FFA Foundation believes in our future leaders and the communities they serve. We believe in the future of agriculture.
Join us in the I Believe in the Future of Ag campaign. Learn more at neffafoundation.org. Brought to you by Chief Industries, trusted, tested, true. And Country Partners Cooperative. Together, we can.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
It's the final days of Ford Truck Month. Your last chance to save big on the only trucks built Ford tough. Work or play, get after it in a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Get a Ford Maverick or get after any adventure in a Ford Ranger pickup. Take advantage of our best offers on the full Ford lineup of trucks. But get moving, offers are ending soon. Get to the final days of Ford Truck Month. Maverick has limited availability. See dealer for inventory stock.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
The Huskers provide the best on the field, and so does Kubota. The new Kubota L60 Limited Edition Series provides the best package for affordability, quality, and comfort, like the deluxe Grand L factory-installed cab or spacious open operator station. Maximize performance with Kubota's best-in-class HST Plus transmission and many other features of the L60 LE Series. Experience the Kubota difference. Visit nebraska-kubota-dealers.com or see Rush Kubota in West Point or Roars Machinery in Beatrice.
There's nothing better than the smoky aroma of grilled beef at the ballpark. This is Anne Marie with the Nebraska Beef Council reminding you to pick up a package of steaks or burgers for your next tailgate party. Whether you're setting up in the parking lot or cheering from home, nutritious beef is a home run choice when cheering on the Huskers. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for delicious beef recipes, grilling tips, and tailgate inspirations. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, it's the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. It's our baseball hour with the head coach, Will Bolt. Huskers coming off of a weekend sweep over the Ohio State Buckeyes. Text question from Joe in Oakland. Is Drew Christo starting to catch up with the speed of the college game? Any chance we're going to start seeing him in the midweek games?
Yeah, that's a great question. He threw last week, so we played Tuesday through Wednesday live on the mound, and he looked great. Stuff was good. Kind of, again, we're kind of looking at some mechanical things with him a little bit, and him just kind of trusting his stuff, and so I think there's a pretty good shot that you'll see him on Wednesday at the front of that game on Wednesday. So need him to give us a good outing, and you know he's a guy that, like I've said a million times in the past, he's a guy you root for because he's such a good teammate and a hard worker, and he cares an awful lot. So you know any shot that we can get him out there to help the team, we're going to do that. So I think pretty safe to say we'll see him on Wednesday.
Good. Hey, Dorothy Lynch, home style and light and lean dressing, endless flavorabilities. 402-413-2400. Let's go to West Point. Husker Dan, you're up with the head coach.
Good evening, gentlemen. How's it going?
Hey, Dan. Doing great. Thanks.
Awesome. I just want to, first and foremost, I want to congratulate you, Coach Bolt, on a series win, a sweep. And, wow, the bats came out and the timely hits, and the pitching was awesome. You know, when the bats get going, and you know this too, the pitching gets better because, you know, the pitchers know the bats are, the score can be, you know, up there where they can kind of settle down and they're not behind the black ball. And, you know, me and the wife were out in Vegas, and we listened to all three games, and you guys, Greg, you guys all came in clear, and we had a blast. And, you know, it's good to be away from Nebraska and be able to hear my Nebraska sports, and that's all I have. So good luck with the rest of the schedule, Coach, and hope I can talk to you soon.
Appreciate the call. Thanks for the support, Dan.
Hope he won out in Vegas, too.
Yeah, I hope you won.
Yeah,
I was going to say, hopefully Greg's voice brought you some good luck.
Came away with a winner there. Got a text question, says, congratulations on that sweep. I was frustrated after the Creighton game. Didn't think we were very aggressive at the plate, but sure saw that at pick up over the weekend.
Yeah, you and me both. Yeah. Again, on Tuesday's game at Creighton, we're in position to go win the game in the 7th and 8th inning, and then again in the 9th inning, and we just that was exactly, again, kind of just the message was we gotta play to win. We got to be more aggressive. We've got to do a better job in those situations of just putting the ball in play, and a lot of that times just means more ready to hit. And so it was a good bounce back. I mean, and again, we're facing good arms against Ohio State. I mean, it's not like, we got some big hits against some guys that had some really good numbers and really good stuff. just more aggressive. And that's part of the learning curve a little bit when you've got some kind of an inexperienced lineup. And so we had to learn some pretty expensive, take some pretty expensive advice and earlier in the year by not being as aggressive as we need to be. And then to kind of see that pay off this weekend, hopefully that's something that we can carry on.
Text question for you: do you encourage the launch angle with your hitters?
I don't believe I've really ever used the term launch angle, except just kind of maybe looking at some of the metrics when we're hitting in the cages or something like that. But it's not something that we look at in terms of saying, hey, you need to hit with launch angle. I mean, really all that means is get the ball in the air. It doesn't mean fly ball or pop up. It just means, line drives have launch angle. So you're looking to keep that launch angle at a line drive level. And I think every hitting coach in the history of baseball has wanted his players to hit hard line drives. So we don't encourage the term launch angle, just like we don't encourage guys to chop the ball into the ground. It's more of, get on plane and, think about hitting a line drive through the middle, because if you miss either way, you've got a lot of margin for error on the entire field.
2 straight weekends you've had Bryce lead off, Cam hit 2. You like what you've seen from that group?
Yeah, I mean, we've had some of our better offensive games with those 2 guys hitting back-to-back, and Cam he was on base 7 times, school record 5 walks on Sunday, and had a couple of hits to go with it, and Bryce broke out with a 3-hit game, and I think those guys are fast. They get around the bases. When they're on base, it means more opportunities for Max and for Griff and for Anglem, and those guys have been really good in those situations. So, they've been pretty high on base guys for us. Still like to see us cut down the punch outs at the top of the order, but those guys are both guys that can hurt you with the extra base hit too. So I like that dynamic in terms of just them getting around the bases and getting on base, and we'll stick with it.
We named Luke Sartori as your player of the game yesterday. Made some great catches. Obviously had the grand slam in the 9th inning. What about his weekend?
Again, we're talking about a guy that hasn't, despite his age, he hasn't played a lot of college baseball. Just if you go back and look at it, he's had injuries, and the COVID year hit, so it took away a lot of his junior college at bats. So he's inexperienced, and so he's kind of learning as he goes a little bit. He's a talented kid. He's a guy that can run. He's got some strength in the bat, as he showed on Sunday. And again, I think just what he was able to do over the last couple of games is he was just more ready to hit, and he was more aggressive and put balls in play. We saw him get down a couple of bunts, which we hadn't seen him do much of this year. So I think that's something that he brings a good dynamic there to the bottom of the order, and made some good plays and just played with confidence and just played with a little more attitude than what we've seen. It's great to be a nice guy, but when you get between the lines, you need to make sure that you've got that competitive fire going, and I think that's what we saw from him this weekend.
I feel a certain comfort when the ball gets hit in the air towards center and he's out there that he's going to go get it.
Yeah, I mean he's got he's a good strider. He can cover both gaps, and that's a big outfield that we played in. And he made a really nice play, going up against the wall in the outing on Sunday, and he kind of misjudged the ball, but the speed made up for it on the ball that he came in and made the sliding catch on. So you got to have closing speed to be able to come make plays like that. And again, he's a guy that we're really counting on to put together some good at bats and play great defense for us.
All right, then a text question for you. Hey, Coach, I know the black tops are for Sundays if you're going for a sweep. Any chance we can switch that to wear them at home sometime on a Sunday? Nothing against the red flag tops, but the black tops are amazing.
Yeah, I think that's just something that we've kind of made that decision that we'll wear the black on the road. And, if we're at home, we're going to stick with the traditional colors and never say never. But for now, the red, white, and blue is the one to wear for home sweeps. And so hopefully we can see those out a couple times the rest of this year. But yeah, I'm with you. I love the black. I love it because it means we got something we're playing for on the road. That sweep. So they're sharp. I think the red, white, and blue. I think all of our jerseys are real sharp.
Players get a kick out of it. You can tell they get fired up when they know the possibility of wearing those blacks are there for them.
No doubt. Yeah, it's kind of that carrot to dangle for them.
You bet. Hey, time now for our Nebraska Lottery Husker Baseball Weekly Trivia Contest brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery. Each weekly winner is going to get $100 in scratch tickets from the Nebraska Lottery. Please, only one winner per household per season. All right. Get ready to text us. Here's the text number, 402-413-2400 with your answer to this trivia question. Max Anderson hit a grand slam in Saturday's game to give the Huskers a 10-5 lead. Prior to that, who was the last Husker to hit a grand slam? You have the right answer. Give us a text, 402-413-2400. You know it?
I think I do.
All right.
I don't want to spoil it.
Don't say it out
I'm
loud.
not going to spoil it, though.
Don't say it out loud. All right. Send us a text. We're back with more. Our phone lines are open for you as well, 402-413-2400. We're back with more of The Coach coming up.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Welcome to Ag Answers. Today we're talking about renewable biofuels like corn ethanol and soy biodiesel. Electric vehicles continue to make headlines as we look for ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But did you know by using ethanol, you can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 46% compared to traditional gasoline and by up to 86% when you use biodiesel compared to petroleum diesel? Locally produced biofuels are the here and now solution to combating climate change. They are good for our air, good for our wallets, and good for Nebraska. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska researchers are designing the next generation of roadside steel barriers through an industry partnership with Trafix Devices. This partnership has produced the Delta Crash Cushion, a simplistic, effective way to keep drivers safe on highways. This barrier is vital for roadside safety and significantly improves the chances motorists will be able to walk away from roadside collisions.
The 0-1 pitch to Max. Anderson hammers one to center. That's hit pretty well. Kern backing up. He's to the track. He's to the wall. And that ball is gone. Anderson gets a grand slam to dead center. And Nebraska's lead grows to 10-5.
This Wednesday, Huskers baseball is back in Omaha to take on the Mavericks with first pitch set for 6:30 p.m. Central. Pre-game coverage on the Huskers radio network begins at 6. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Valley 365 is here, and the time is now to take your farming technology full circle. Valley 365 is the ultimate command center, the new single sign-on platform that brings together our tried and true technology and streamlines your entire operation. Combining the best features of AgSense, Valley Scheduling, Valley VRI, and Valley Insights, Valley 365 is the next-level solution for connected crop management. Leverage your data, make the most of your time, and own your tomorrow. Contact your Valley dealer today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today we're tackling the issue of GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. GMOs may sound scary, but they're actually benefiting our environment and consumers. That's because GMO crops help solve specific problems like insects, food waste, and droughts. By selecting good traits from one plant or organism and adding them to another, farmers are safely using science to produce high-quality foods better than ever before. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
In a world where fun and cash prizes collide, one game explodes to the forefront. Cash Blast from the Nebraska Lottery. Non-stop excitement, a winning thrill ride, and starring you. until April 12th. Play 2x2 weekly for a chance to win $5,000 or $500. And if your ticket was a 7-day draw, your prize is doubled. Don't miss it. Cash Blast playing at a lottery retailer near you. 2x2 top prize odds 1 in 105,000.
And Burkhart grounds to second. Ibarra charges, flips to first in time. And Nebraska storms into Ann Arbor and sweeps a doubleheader from 19th-ranked Michigan. They win the nightcap 7-4. Nebraska softball returns to the road to open a 3-game series at Michigan State Friday. Join Matt Coatney for all the action, beginning with pregame at 4:50. First pitch at 5 on the Huskers radio network, Huskers.com, and the official Nebraska Athletics app.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
They say if you listen hard enough, you can hear the corn grow. It's true. When you're out in the field, you understand its challenges and what it needs to thrive. Channel Seedsmen bring insights from the field to our team of Bayer plant breeders. Their knowledge inspires our product development. From your best ground to your most challenging conditions, our products are designed to perform in your fields. Visit channellistens.com to see our latest innovations. Always read and follow IRM where applicable, grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, it's the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance technology and service agriculture and much more. Acres, its solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe back with you. It's our Nebraska Baseball Hour here on the Huskers Radio Network. We had a lot of people answering the trivia question. The last Husker to hit a grand slam prior to Max Anderson. We had people who were saying Cam Chick, Spencer Schwellenbach, Cash Kalkowski. We've been well before since Cash. Griffin Everett. The actual winner was Luke Roscom, and Emily Duncan from Norfolk had the right answer. You remember that? That was at Rutgers last May.
I remember it. That was a big swing of the bat. Obviously, any Grand Slam is, but that was a big one that weekend where we won 3 out of 4, and I believe it was an opposite field shot, and it gave us some breathing room.
Where's Luke? Any idea?
Yeah, Luke is he's back in Minnesota. He's just recently had surgery, hamate bone surgery, so I think he's planning on playing another year of independent ball. Had a great season last year for the Grand Junction Rockies after he was done playing here, and got a chance to give him his ring in person a few weeks ago. Cool. And so, like I said, he's kind of on the mend right now. I'm sure he's playing a lot of video games. He's one of those gamers, so yeah, he's hopefully can get well soon and start playing again.
What a versatile guy! You played him at third, at first, catcher. He played all over the place.
He did, and again, it's an invaluable piece to a team where guys are going to be willing to do whatever it takes. And played, like you said, he could have played anywhere for us on the field, and just knows the game. And it was fun to see him come into his own last year as a hitter and really just kind of trust his approach.
Yeah. Let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Omaha. And Harold, good evening. Harold, you're up with head coach Will Bolt.
Hi, guys. Coach, thank you for everything you do. Awesome comeback this weekend. The black uniforms, they are fire. Awesome. Love them. Two-part question. First question is, in player development, does it happen mostly in the fall camps and spring ball, or is it more focused on the summer camps that the players attend? And then lastly, my last question is on the zone. I watch a lot of college football, or college baseball, and it seems to me like the zone in the Big Ten is wider, or wider is the wrong word. It's more unpredictable. And I'm wondering if that is a result of just that the Big Ten's weather patterns seem to be higher winds more often than in, say, the Southeast or in the Arizona leagues or Pac-12 leagues. I'll hang up, Coach, and wait for your answer. But, Coach Bolt, please, 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 never leave us. We love you to death. You're awesome. Take care. And Greg, same with you. God bless both of you. Have a wonderful night.
Wow, thank you very much. Thanks for the call and the kind words. I really appreciate that. The first part of the question, the player development, you know, when a player comes in as a freshman, the last thing you want to do is start making a bunch of changes with them. You know, you recruit them for a reason, freshman or junior college or transfer. You want to kind of see what they have, and you want to kind of evaluate that in the fall. You know, there's that time frame that's a very crucial one for college baseball players where we don't get to see them for about 4 to 6 weeks over Christmas break. So that's obviously a huge part of the equation. The guys that go home and work really hard and kind of stay where they're at or get better, they tend to have the best chance to really take that talent that they have from the fall into the spring. You know, and then when you get in the spring, you maybe make some adjustments here and there with guys when they need it, but it's awfully difficult to do that during the season and have a lot of success immediately on that. So your question about the summer stuff, you know, all of our guys go off and play summer baseball. So getting some of those at-bats in maybe a lower pressure situation, 100, 150 at-bats, depending on the league that they go to, and some pitchers that need innings. It's crucial for them to be able to go out and do that. And then come back the next fall, and we can kind of evaluate where they're at, and again, maybe make changes maybe a little earlier if we need to, and those type of things. But from a player development standpoint, I mean, we have literally everything at our disposal that we could possibly want. And we tell guys in the recruiting process, if you don't get better physically, mentally, everything in the game of baseball while you're here, then you're probably not, you know, doing what you need to do. And Coach Childress now is our director of player development, and he does a great job of kind of overseeing all that stuff from a development standpoint for our players. So hopefully that answers that part of the question. And I guess I got to be kind of careful with what I talk about when it comes to the umpires, but I think human nature says that if it's cold outside, the strike zone may be a little bit bigger. So I'll just leave it at that.
All right, Jack in York on our text line said, very pleased with the sweep over the weekend. Congrats. The strikeout rate, he says 42% over the weekend seem excessive or demonstrate excellent aggressiveness. How do you analyze that?
I would say Friday's, you know, the starter that they had on Friday had a really good breaking ball, and he had punched out a bunch of guys going into that game. We still struck out way too much. I mean, we were way too passive against him. Especially once we kind of figured out what he was doing, we still were just way too passive, and that's where a lot of those punch-outs came from. And I felt like the next 2 days, we had a lot of two-strike at-bats and put the ball in play early in counts, and you know, we had a lot of at-bats, period. So there's going to be some strikeouts in there when it comes to that. So I thought Saturday and Sunday had no problem with how we competed, how we moved the ball with 2 strikes. You know, luckily when we did punch out, we had somebody right behind them that really picked him up. So Friday, I have an issue with that. We got some of that corrected on Saturday and Sunday, and you know, I thought we were really, really, really good offensively.
Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Head back to the phones up to Minnesota. Tim, good evening. You're up with head coach Will Bolt.
Good evening, guys. First, I'll go with a question that I have. I remember a couple of weeks ago, there was a situation where, I don't remember exactly now, but I think we were, one of our opponents had maybe questioned about whether maybe we were guilty of runner's interference. I remember the call went our way. I'd even tried to text, but nothing more. That issue kind of went away, but so we were not guilty of it then, or whatever it was. But my question would be, what would have made us guilty of runner interference? And before I hang up, I just want to say I enjoyed this quite a bit, regardless of how some of the games have gone, but certainly encouraged by how it's gone. But I remember, though, I've always been a baseball fan, but wasn't as much into it way back when. But Coach Bolt, when you're a player and that team finally started getting really good and had the success, that's what made me a far much bigger baseball fan and have been ever since then. So that's all, guys. Thanks, and have a good evening.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, thanks for the call. Yeah, and I think that's why I'm so passionate, talking with our players. Whenever we play, again, we're trying to win every game, obviously, but it's far more important to me that our players play a certain brand of baseball when it comes to how hard you play with some passion, energy, be a team, those type of things, because I know that's what Husker fans appreciate, and that's kind of what got us on the map as a program. And you got talent, and you do that, the wins follow. That's certainly the blueprint that we followed last year, and those are the things that we're going to expect of our teams year in and year out. So
I think the play he's referring to, it was Luke Jessen was at second base, and there was a ground ball toward short. And Luke did a pretty good job of almost kind of screening the fielder from seeing where the ball was going. And so I think Tim was like, well, could that be called runner interference or not?
Yeah, as long as it doesn't touch you, you're fine there. And you have to give the fielder an opportunity to field the ball. So as long as you're not, running into the fielder before he's got a chance to field it, I guess short of running backwards to kind of get in the way of the ball, which I don't know that I've ever seen that before. That could potentially be called up, I suppose, but just with the ball being right in front of you, that's actually kind of what you want to do, is you want to kind of get in that eye line if you can, and obviously it's a slippery slope because you don't want to get hit by the ball because you'll be out.
Had a wild play, I think it was a Saturday game this weekend, where I believe it was Core who put down the bunt, and then their second baseman ran into the umpire. Core then slid around the first baseman trying to tag him, and the Ohio State argument was, how can you make a call? You're laying on the ground as an umpire. But I think they got it right. I don't think they tagged Core at all.
They did, and that's one of those effort plays right there where we lay down a bunt, and Core, rather than just kind of running down the line and letting them tag him, he did what it took to get around the tag and still get to the base and dove head first. And the second baseman was coming over to cover first, or to try to get to the bag, and he absolutely trucked the umpire. So he got the call right. He did not tag Core. I know the home plate umpire was going to say the same thing. Core was safe, and the second baseman wasn't going to beat him to the bag anyway. But that was a kind of a wild scene there with bodies flying everywhere, and
they were laying everywhere.
The first base umpire was on the ground. So
Tim, appreciate the call. 402-413-2400, the number to dial us up with a comment or question. Still have a few minutes if you want to jump on board the program. We're back to wrap it up next.
It's the final days of Ford Truck Month. Your last chance to save big on the only trucks built Ford tough. Work or play, get after it in a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Get a Ford Maverick, or get after any adventure in a Ford Ranger pickup. Take advantage of our best offers on the full Ford lineup of trucks. But get moving, offers are ending soon. Get to the final days of Ford Truck Month. Maverick has limited availability. See dealer for inventory stock.
Okay, let's get a photo of the bride and groom standing next to that giant mud puddle. Good. Now smile.
Oh, honey, don't look now, but you're covered in mud.
Oh, so is your white tux.
You know what this means, don't you?
Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery is back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is the happiest day of my life. Don't you think we should head to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer?
I do.
Trucks and Bucks is back, and you could win one of 8 new trucks. Top prize odds 1 in 336,000.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Matt Moorhead or Joanne Shamanek in Lincoln or Scott Jeffers in McCook today.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse, first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. 402-413-2400. Dennis on our text line. Coach, on windy days, has it changed the way your outfielders play, like move them a few steps to where they normally play?
Yeah, I would certainly. Certain winds, you're going to potentially favor. In our ballpark, the wind typically blows across the field. So if it's blowing across the field on the opposite side, is going to knock the ball down pretty good. So you play that guy a little more shallow, and then you can kind of push the guys a little bit deeper when the wind's blowing across. So yeah, that's certainly something that we take into account with the wind.
All right, Omaha, Wednesday. You've seen them twice this year. Two really highly competitive games, both walk-off type games. Probably headed for something similar Wednesday.
Yeah, speaking of wind, it looks like it's going to be a really windy, kind of chilly game on Wednesday night. And yeah, they played a lot of low-scoring games, a lot of games where it's just kind of comes down to the final innings. So, again, we're feeling pretty confident offensively. It would be good for us to get off to a good start and kind of be able to play really well from the first inning on Wednesday.
Rutgers over the weekend will be here. Spring game. A lot of folks will be in town, and you expect really good crowds out there. You played them 5 times last year. You saw them a bunch.
Back-to-back weekends, too. They were here, and then we turned around and went there for their pod last year. So very well-coached team. I mean, I think they're 21-6 right now. Statistically, are one of the better teams in the league for sure. And they're a bunch of tough dudes from the Northeast. I mean, their whole rosters, all guys from New Jersey, New York. They're a talented team, and they're playing really well. They're top of the league, and hopefully we have good weather. And I know our fans are going to show up, and we just need to keep it going.
It's Rutgers, Illinois at the top right now at 5-1. You're 4-2. This coach at Rutgers, he's been there a couple years, and he's turned them. They have dramatically gotten better.
Yeah, they've just upgraded the talent level on their team and on their roster, and they've used the transfer portal to their advantage. They've got a couple of guys this year that are really contributing on the mound. They did last year as well. They had a couple of guys that contributed that way. So a lot of good players, a lot of population over there, and you got the right coach and Coach Owens. And I said it before we played him last year. I have a lot of respect for him, and his teams are always going to be tough.
All right, go get them. Go get those Mavericks on Wednesday. We'll see you up there.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Okay, there he is, head coach Will Bolt with us here on our baseball hour. Huskers will take on the Mavericks Wednesday night, 6:30 up at Anderson Field. Our pregame coverage begins at 6. Then the Scarlet Knights here over the weekend. Friday night, Saturday after the spring game, 3:15 start time for that game on Saturday. Then an early start on Sunday as Huskers wrap up a home series. Thanks to Tim and all of you for being a part of this one tonight. We'll talk to you again tomorrow with Sports Nightly, and then from the Ball Yard on Wednesday night up in Omaha. Have a great night. Enjoy the championship game coming up here in a little bit.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sapp Brothers. For 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska. providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
The best parts of an SUV and pickup truck come together in the all-new 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz. This up-for-anything sport adventure vehicle gives you modern convenience and uncommon freedom with the open bed of a pickup truck. Plus, when you shop Hyundai, you'll benefit from Hyundai Owner Assurance with America's Best 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Find yours online at woodhousehyundai.com or in-store off 144th and Giles Road during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.